Welcome to Whether or Not. We've got an interesting show lined up for you today. We have Rodden here with a feature on a behind-the-scenes look and end-of-year wrap-up for this season of Whether or Not. Also, we have Michael Spagnolo in the studio with this weekend's forecast. And, of course, some exciting nature in the news stories about hurricanes and climate change impacts here in central Pennsylvania. So sit back, relax, because Whether or Not starts right now. Hello, welcome to Whether or Not. I'm your host, Brian Mastro.
And I'm your forecaster, Michael Spagnolo.
We had some rain and even a thunderstorm earlier this week in central Pennsylvania. Quite the pattern change to what we were used to during April.
Yes, it was. We did have a thunderstorm rolled through about 10 or 11 o'clock Monday. Some lightning with it and a good heavy rainfall. I know my car was starting to turn yellow, so it's washed off. Looks like I'll have to avoid having to wash that for this upcoming weekend.
And luckily, we were able to avoid some of that severe weather like they got out in the Central Plains, where there are numerous severe thunderstorm warnings, lots of hail and damaging winds, and even a few tornadoes.
Yeah, there was pretty big severe weather outbreak there. No severe weather forecasted for Pennsylvania for this upcoming weekend, but there is rain in the forecast. I'll detail when that will fall in just a few minutes.
Well, it's good to hear that we're not looking at any severe weather here in Pennsylvania, and we'll keep an eye on elsewhere in the country as well. But for now, let's check out some nature in the news stories.
While those in the United States are gearing up for the Atlantic hurricane season, those living in Australia are just wrapping up their slowest tropical cyclone season on record. During the 2015 to 2016 tropical cyclone season, Australia only named 3 storms: Tropical Cyclone Stan, Uria, and Tatiana. While on the Australian basin, each storm only reached Tropical Cyclone Category 2 strength, which is equivalent to a tropical storm here in the Atlantic. However, once Tropical Cyclone Uria moved out of the Australian basin and into the Indian Ocean, it did strengthen to an Atlantic Ocean respective Category 4. But just because the season was the slowest on record does not mean Australia did not see impacts. Tropical Cyclone Stan did make landfall and caused flooding and disruption to the oil, natural gas, and iron ore mining industry in the region. This year's El Nino is a likely cause for the slow season.
In 2016, Centre County was treated to an unusually mild and pleasant winter, and many look forward to returning outdoors in the springtime. However, the warm winter Pennsylvanians enjoyed could become a harbinger of serious risk to wildlife. According to the National Wildlife Federation, climate change is the single biggest threat to wildlife this century. For Pennsylvanians, the changing climate could strip away 2 of its state symbols, the eastern hemlock tree and the brook trout. Eastern hemlock trees all across the state are suffering from an infestation of the parasitic woolly adelgid. Native to Asia, the hemlock woolly adelgid is a small insect that threatens the health and sustainability of eastern hemlock trees in the eastern United States. It sucks sap from the young branches, which results in premature needle drop and branch dieback. Brook trout were once so synonymous with these trees that they were called hemlock brook trout, and the loss of shade from these trees could warm the rivers where the trout reside. When cold water habitats warm, brook trout can become more susceptible to toxins, parasites, and disease. Trout fishing is a very popular activity amongst Pennsylvania residents and would have to end if the species numbers dwindled.
A strong low-pressure system will bring in some unusually cold air to parts of Europe this upcoming weekend. While some snow is common for Great Britain in April, any wintry precipitation this late in the month is rare. Late snowfall accumulations of a couple of inches are likely across England's northern hills and in places like Edinburgh, Scotland. This same storm system will bring snow to the BMW Open Tennis Tournament in Munich, Germany, which has halted the series until the snow showers end and the courts can be cleared. While snow here in Pennsylvania is also uncommon during this time of the year, it is not unheard of. Light snowfall events are even possible into May and do occur from time to time both here and for Great Britain and Germany.
On Monday, the World Meteorological Organization retired 3 names from its rotating list for hurricanes and tropical storms in light of the death and destruction these storms caused last year. Erica, Joaquin, and Patricia were all retired and will never be used again. In the Atlantic, Hurricane Joaquin battered the Bahamas in October, killed 34 people, including the 33 crew members of the cargo ship El Faro, which sank during the storm just northeast of the Bahamas. Tropical storm Erica battered the Caribbean in August, killing 35 people, mostly in Dominica, from flooding. Erica is only the second non-hurricane to be retired, the other being Tropical Storm Allison, which brought a deluge to Houston, Texas in 2001. Including Erica and Joaquin, 80 Atlantic hurricane and tropical storm names have now been retired. In the Pacific, Hurricane Patricia was the strongest hurricane on record, with maximum sustained winds of 215 miles per hour. It weakened just before landfall in a sparsely populated region of the west coast of Mexico, killing 15 people. The organization will replace Erica with Elsa, Joaquin with Julian, and Patricia with Pamela when the 2015 lists are reused in 2021.
There was a severe weather outbreak in parts of the Great Plains earlier on in this week. It all started in parts of central Kansas and Oklahoma and eventually extended its way down into parts of central Texas. Started as supercells and then it formed into a pretty good squall line that continued to march east Tuesday night and then into the day on Wednesday, 24 hours later even impacting parts of Louisiana and downtown New Orleans. For a time, we were under a severe thunderstorm watch here in State College. However, the severe threat really did not materialize here in the mid-Atlantic. It was mostly out to our west where they saw the severe conditions. No severe weather is in the forecast for the upcoming weekend, however, but we do expect some rain to fall. Here's your surface map for Friday. Low pressure will be off to our south. It will be sliding to the east, so we will be cool. It won't be cold, but definitely not the 70s and the low 80s some people saw over the last week. On and off rain showers during the day on Friday. As this storm system pulls to the east, high pressure will begin to build in from the north and west, and we'll see some partly sunny skies on Saturday. That will allow temperatures to rebound from the upper 40s and lower 50s on Friday to the middle 60s on during Saturday afternoon. That high pressure system, however, will not hang around for long. Unlike the last 2 weeks where high pressure really was dominating our weather pattern, this next week or so is not going to be the case. That high pressure will quickly move back off to the north, and low pressure will move in from the Ohio Valley, overspreading clouds earlier in the day on Sunday, and then Sunday afternoon expecting rain showers to pick back up here in State College, Pennsylvania. Now here's your detailed look at the upcoming weekend. 53 degrees is your high temperature for Friday afternoon, on and off rain showers. Those rain showers will begin to taper Friday night, low of 42 degrees. So for the Moving On concert, the acts during the afternoon will probably be a little soggy, but the evening acts will likely squeeze in between some of the rain showers. And then during the day on Saturday, with some of that sunshine, temperatures warm up to 64 degrees here in State College with those partly sunny skies. And then Saturday night, low of 42, partly cloudy skies. Clouds will begin to increase, though, over the course of the night. And then by early Sunday morning, expect rain showers to begin to overspread the region. Chance of showers will then increase over the course of the day with temperatures once again rising back into the lower 60s. That's your forecast for this upcoming weekend. Next is a feature by Rodden taking a look behind the scenes of whether or not as we say goodbye to some of this past season's crew.
Whether or not starts right now. All right, I got it. That far. Coming up on Whether or Not, we have a feature by our own Marissa Lautenbacher, who
It doesn't look like we'll be having any dust storms here in State College for this weekend. Now let's jump into what we actually are looking at here for State College.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going?
It's going good.
Oh, I was thinking if I wanted to do something. It's kind of cheesy, but I will do it.
Unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.
And in here, a lot of hard work goes in to bring you Whether or Not each and every week. Utilizing this.
So as all of you guys saw a few weeks ago, I am a big baseball fan. So my dream job is actually to be the meteorologist for the New York Mets, if that is possible.
It's currently pushing its way across Pennsylvania. We will be monitoring this rain all throughout the evening and through the overnight hours. Rain showers that's currently pushing its way across And I'm your forecaster, Brian Mastro. Have a terrific rest of your day.
God. That happens a lot.
We don't. We can't have it.
Hello, I'm student meteorologist Marissa Lautenbacher here with your Central Pennsylvania forecast for this weekend. I'm sad to leave Whether or Not because I feel like it was a great experience being on the show, and I think that it's amazing for anyone who's done it. And since I did the alumni show, they're all really successful, and I hope to follow in their footsteps one day. So my plans for after graduation, I hope to be in television broadcast, anything in television really. Because of Whether or Not, I'm really into graphics and production recently, so I hope to go into that after graduation if I can't get anything on air, because I think working with graphics and even producing a show would be very beneficial.
And I'm your forecaster, Michael Spagnolo. Have a great rest of the day.
Excited to do Whether or Not for another semester with me.
Your camera's drooping. I really enjoyed working on it this semester. It's been a great opportunity to not only be able to host, but work on forecasting in addition to making features, interview skills. I'm looking forward to another semester here on Whether or Not.
Well, I'm Ann Rodden with your weather. We had some rain on Thursday that will continue on to Friday.
We're gonna use camera 3. We're gonna use 3. With that, I don't want to look like.
There's naming winter storms and signing off.
Rise upticks. However, that is not the case this time around. The increase in tick population, however. Yeah, I'll be graduating in about a week, and as a senior here, it's been a great 4 years here at Penn State and on the show for the past 2 seasons, and I hope to find a job mostly in forecasting. I did apply to AccuWeather and 2 other jobs back at home, so fingers crossed that I'll get something. You want to start somewhere. You want to get your footing somewhere. You don't want to get your dream job off the bat. You want to work your way up because that's how life works. And I think eventually, I'd like to work in TV, whether I'm on camera or not. That's up to me to decide in the future. But all I know is that wherever I end up in the next couple of months, I certainly will love the job that I'll do. Well, it's been a good run here, Whether or Not, and I'm still gonna be crazy. And I might bring this with me. I'm gonna wear this to my next job all the time. It's gonna be like on my contract.
That's when you know you're doing well.
Oh, okay. Cut that out. Cut that out. We'll cut that out. For the last time, for Whether or Not, I'm Michael Prianti.
For Whether or Not, I'm Brian Mastro.
For Whether or Not, I'm Marissa Lautenbacher.
For Whether or Not, I'm Michael
Whether or
Spagnolo.
not, I'm Ann Rodden.
But in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.
I am not going crazy.
Thank you for that feature, Ann. I am looking forward to working with you for another semester here on Whether or Not. A quick recap of this upcoming weekend's forecast. 53 degrees on Friday, showers, so it will be a bit cool out there. We do dry out for this upcoming Saturday. Temperatures will get into the middle 60s during the afternoon with that little bit of sunshine, but clouds and showers will return during the day on Sunday. Temperatures will still be mild, however, but another storm system will be impacting us for the start of next week. Most of that rainfall will fall during the day on Monday. Temperatures just a bit below average, which is the middle 60s as we begin to start the month of May. We do dry out through the middle of the part of the week. A little bit more sunshine will allow temperatures to be a little bit warmer, and then that rainfall will move back in with another storm system for the end of next week.
Thank you for that forecast, Michael. It does look like we will at least have one nice day this weekend on Saturday.
Yep, and with the rain next week, of course, it is finals week, so I know myself, I'll enjoy some of that rain to keep me indoors, to keep myself studying, to make sure we do well to wrap up this spring semester.
Hopefully that goes well for you as well as everybody. We do wish everybody the best of luck on their final exams next week, which brings us to our Weather Whiz quiz for this week. 1914 was the least active Atlantic hurricane season on record, How many named storms were there that season? Was it A, 1, B, 3, C, 5, or D, 7? If you guessed A, 1, then you are correct.
In 1914, there was that one tropical system. It was Tropical Storm 1 that made landfall on the coast of Florida. Of course, before 1954, tropical systems were named with a number versus the traditional names that we give them now. There was also another tropical depression that occurred during that season.
There was also potentially one other tropical depression that year, but that was well before the satellite era, so we don't really know how strong any other storms out there were. Also, that was the only year without a hurricane in addition to 1907, so only 2 years on record with no hurricanes in the Atlantic Ocean.
Yep, and in the modern era with the satellites, 1983 was a quiet season with only four named storms occurring that year.
Yes, and this hurricane season is coming up shortly. It begins on June 1st, and many people across the country are preparing for this year's hurricane season, and we hope they are able to stay safe this hurricane season. And that's all we have time for this episode of Whether or Not, which is my final episode of Whether or Not and the final one for this season as well. Whether or Not will return in the fall along with Michael and Ann and 2 new team members, Drew and Allie. So I do wish them the best of luck for next season. So signing off for the last time for Whether or Not, I'm your host, Brian Mastro.
And I'm your forecaster, Michael Spagnolo. Have a great rest of your day.